Hey, happy Monday. Starting to feel a little bit more like fall. Um, we are tracking another hurricane, so hopefully that won't affect our area. But this is a week that we're not in trials, but we are in court again. We've got pleas and motions that'll start today and should end Thursday or Friday. And then next week we've got the Solicitors Conference, which is, I'll talk more about that next week. But that's a time to get training. Anyway, an important thing happened last week while we were in court. Our new chief administrative judge got court administration on the phone, and we really worked out a pattern that I think is going to very much benefit Horry and Georgetown counties going forward. And it's a pattern that we are used to. It's a pattern that we have been doing for at least 20 years, but in the last 3 or 4 years, court administration has changed and broken it up. This will make more sense to you. Our pattern that we schedule court around has always been, just say October 1st, we were going to be in court with a plea judge and a trial judge. October 8th, the very next week, we would be in court again with a plea judge and a trial judge. One team would be down in trials, another team would be doing pleas every day. And in doing that, we were in court. It was a lot busier, but it was every day and we made good use of it. The last 3 or 4 years, what's happened is we've been in court 1 week with a trial, 1 week with pleas, 1 week with motions. So much so that this year, of course there's 26 weeks in 180 days, or a half a year, 52 weeks in a year. But in the last half of the year, we were in court 24 out of 26 weeks. So it was constantly being in there. And what I was explaining to the new Chief Justice and to our administrative judge is that there's a reason that the Broncos or the Cowboys or the Patriots, whoever your favorite team is, plays once a week. They play on Sunday, and then the rest of the week they're preparing for the next week. And then that makes them so much more use of their time. We have to be out so that we can prepare a case for trial. But if we're in court Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you can't be out preparing for an upcoming term of court or a trial that you've got. You can't be touching base with victims. You can't be doing a lot of things that have to be done in the background. So the last few years have been tough. We've made it work. But it's even more tough on public defenders. We've got 34 prosecutors from Horry to Georgetown counties. The Public Defender's Office may have 10. Now, they don't handle as many cases as we do, but those guys, it's harder to split up court time with 10 people and give someone a break than it is for the solicitor's office. Another thing is I could, if I'm really, really busy, I could hand my file to another prosecutor. And they can too if it's a minor case in the public defender's office. But they can't hand off a major case because there's so much more linked to their client. The state represents society. The public defender represents that one defendant that's accused of something. So it's been a real bear on them, probably more so than us, with a smaller staff. All of that being said, on the other weeks that we're not in court, that pattern being one plea judge, one trial judge on the week of the 1st, one plea judge, one trial judge on the week of the 8th, and then there's 2 weeks off. You start November 1st, and you have 4 terms of court each month, but it's stacked in a way that while you're in there and while you're wet, you just go ahead and stay wet. Those are 2 really busy weeks. But the other times, you've got time to communicate with the victims, prepare indictments, do legal research. Those things that can't be done while you're in the courtroom. So the court administration agreed with us, and starting in January, they're going to have that same pattern going forward. So we should be able to do more with that pattern than we have been, trying to go up there and be as prepared as we can be, but constantly being in court 24 out of 26 weeks is a lot. And the 25th week is the Solicitors Conference, which we'll talk more about next week. So really and truly, these guys, in the last 6 months, their ability to do all of the things that they have to do downstairs has been put off 25 out of 26 weeks. And that's a lot to prepare for. But that has been fixed. We recognize the problem earlier. We have been fighting with court administration to do just that in years past, but this is the first year that they agreed with us and have made it so that we can pattern those trials in Horry. In Georgetown, they have a lot smaller caseload, so it will be in court once a month, and then maybe every third month, the second term. But they won't have to have 4 each month. When you put it all together, multiply 4 times 12, that's 48 weeks out of 52. We are in court 48, or we're taking up 48 terms of court, but it's just easier when when it's not piecemeal and you're already in there and you're already doing it, and then you get a couple of weeks off to prepare the next thing. That may be a little bit in the weeds for you, but the truth is patterns make a difference. And back to football, you can have the best athletes in the world, but if you've got them out of position and everybody's not on the same page, it's not going to be nearly as efficient as it would with just a simple tweak of those patterns. So that's good news that's coming. It should start in January, and we've put up with this other thing for 3 years. We just got October, November, and December, and certainly we'll be able to get through that. But help is coming, and we should be a lot more efficient in January than we would have been even in October.